The multiple things. In fact, so large we have to split it into 2 episodes.
Right. Yeah, most of our content we should probably split into 2 episodes and then throw both of them away.
Welcome to Disparate Worlds, where an irresistible force meets an immovable object. I'm Mox, and this is Sechari, and we are comparing and contrasting the worlds of Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen, and Ashes of Creation.
Praise the ability to do retakes, right, Mox?
Right.
He just started it, and I made some stupid crack about, oh yeah, we did it in alphabetical order, and it was not in alphabetical order. So
Anti-alphabetical
cake
order.
on my face, right?
Exactly.
I look like a numpty.
Well, you are what you are.
Yeah, you can call me numpty if you want. I'll take it.
Right.
That's a great British word we were just discussing prior to the episode. So, hello to you, friends. Welcome aboard this episode where we feel dumber than a sack of hammers.
Now, Sechari, you should treat the hammerheads in New World a little better than that.
Oh, yes. Oh, you saw through my ruse, did you? Just in case anybody cares for any background on that, I used to come up with these beautiful strategies to win wars. Oh, they were beautiful. No, I could not beat the hammer brains. I felt like Loki getting thrown around by the Hulk fairly frequently. It didn't matter how smart I was, the hammer brains got me. So, I get to poke them back in my episodes. Yes.
Exactly.
Like and subscribe, please. We'd love to have you aboard. Just a reminder as well about the notification bell, right? Like, YouTube loves to hide things these days.
They do. They do.
And we're
Don't
trying
forget to comment. However.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Can we offer a disclaimer about who we are, Mox, as if we haven't 10,000 times?
We're a couple of idiots.
We are a couple of idiots, yes. So there's been a person or two in our comments recently who's been, hey guys, you disseminate a lot of disinformation. We appreciate you pointing that out. Yeah, no, I mean, we just want to let everybody know, like, we are morons, and we acknowledge that, and you are allowed to acknowledge that. I think it's kind of a universal, right, and understood truth.
Right.
But really, we're just a couple of guys enjoying talking about something that we're passionate about. We know some things. We don't know everything. We compare notes on what we do know, and we may at times speak ignorantly or out of misinformation or with misunderstandings or not understanding things.
Yeah, we're human.
We're human, yeah. So we're disclaiming right now, before the episode even starts, that most of what you're about to hear should probably never, ever be trusted. Now, feel free...
Yeah, constructive.
Yeah. Feel free to chat in. Like, if you want to offer a comment, say, hey guys, here's a quick correction on something that you said. Here's the correct information. We love you. That's wonderful. That's what, we're happy to do that all day long. But make it offer some substance, right? Is what I guess what we're asking about. If you'd like to call us morons, at least substantiate why.
Right.
Not that we do.
Yeah, I mean, because there's been
Right.
in a couple of the cases where people have quoted things, they've been entirely wrong, and we've been right. So, if they came at us with some facts, then we could, then at least we'd be able to be like, oh, well, that makes sense.
I think the good part about it is at least it makes us do a double take, and I go, hold on a moment, were we informed on that? I go back to the wiki and read. I'm like, no. Okay, I think we had it right. But sometimes I've seen some things. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting way to interpret that.
Right.
So who knows? And now we're asking good questions. So we will see as we go. Right. Okay, let's throw that in the past. Who cares about that anymore? Let's move on to the things that we are trying to achieve here.
The multiple things. In fact, so large we have to split it into 2 episodes.
Right. Yeah, most of our content we should probably split into 2 episodes and then throw both of them away. All right, so this episode, obviously everybody knows, those of you following anything in Ashes of Creation, they dropped a huge development livestream on us in August 2022 regarding map changes. There's OpenSea PvP. Some redesign that's actually really gone on. Nodes, caravan changes, all of those have kind of been covered. In this episode, we're going to cover map changes and we're going to cover OpenSea PvP.
Yeah, it was an hour and 45 minutes with only an hour of talking about art.
Right. And then Steven was like late to his next meeting, which is, funny. They must have been having a good time. So it is what it is. But I mean, it's a huge drop as far as the news is concerned. So we have to cover it.
Yep. Here we are.
Dragging Mox kicking and screaming into this is going to be a lot of fun.
You said, hey, let's record tonight. And I said, okay, I'm here.
Let's record 3 episodes. He managed to
whittle it down to 2.
Right. Just like, no, please.
I can only talk about Ash's creation for so long.
Right.
No, that's not true. I'll talk about it much as we need to. Let's talk about the flat Verra.
All right, flat Verra. So I think this is hilarious, Mox, that we just did an episode where you reacted to the Lazy Peons video, right, where he was just talking about a certain square footage of the world map.
Square kilometerage.
Square mileage, I suppose. And the immediate next episode now we have to do kind of a review because they changed the map. So what are your thoughts as we go into this?
Well, it's bigger, in Narc's video, he mentioned that this is one of the largest MMOs at launch. Again, I don't know that at launch it's one of the largest. I assume he researched that and had information to back it up. I don't know that that's it. I mean, it's substantial. I mean, based on the difficulty of travel and all, and the fact you got oceans and you got PvP and you got dangerous PvE and being mounted doesn't save you. Like, we've played a lot of games where just getting on a mount pretty much means that you do, and the roads are relatively safe. Like, so you're kind of safe. To get from point A to
traversing.
Point B. This is not that game. This is a game where getting from point A to point B, especially if it's a distance away, is going to be substantially difficult. So
and time-consuming, apparently.
Yeah, and I was not trying to say that Verra is small or isn't going to be great because of its size. I merely was commenting on the Lazy Peon, basically saying that the size of the map is something that is going to set Ashes apart. Where at its previous size, it really was not. At this size, at launch, it might be the biggest. But keep in mind, a large portion of that is going to be ocean stuff. So if you never partake in that,
that's true.
It does not matter. But that's great. I mean, I like the map. It's cool. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of because I watch a lot of flat Earth debunking videos, and I love to. I love to.
There's no world wrap.
I love to hear these idiots talk about how the world is flat and we're on, there is no gravity and all that garbage they talk about, and it just kind of reminds me, like, because somebody actually asked Steven that, and he never actually answered the question.
He mentioned world wrap. He
did mention world wrap.
You can't go over the east and then show up on the west.
Right. Like, so that to me that says we're on a pancake. So Verra's the pancake. So, which is great. I mean, they did a fantastic job. I mean, there's obviously you can see all the various types of biomes on the map, and it's like exploration is going to be challenging and fun.
Yes. It will, right? And so it looks like there's been, in sizing up the map the way they have, there has not been an adjustment to the square kilometerage of the actual land mass, despite, now I like one thing that Narc did, he showed it compared to the New World map, which is sizable, right? Running around a New World
took some time.
Right? Took some time to do. I mean, like, that's what I know because I did it so much of the time I played that game. Right, and then he was showing, okay, like, you can fit into Vandergar, which is I guess the westmost continent, right? There's probably about 8 of them that you can, New World size maps that go in there, at least the launch map, right? So, but the land has not sized up, besides, I think, the addition of 2 new islands.
Right.
By far, it's been actually water that they have added.
Right.
So, it seems to me, and now this is going to have an adjustment, right? Another one of the topics that we spoke about last episode was possible features that if they could delay and get this thing out a little bit sooner, what could they hold off on, right? To get, they're doubling down on water combat, right? And on what all of that is. So we'll look into that as well. But I think there's an adjustment there, right? We kind of called things wrong.
Yeah, definitely you could scratch that off the list of things that they could potentially delay if needed. Water, aquatic stuff is definitely off the list right now.
Yeah, it's key to traversal of this map. I mean, you can't get from one side of it to the other without stepping upon a barge here or there, right? So the reasons for doing this, right, and sizing the map up like they did to 1,200 square kilometers, I believe is the current setting. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Right.
One is that they wanted to have greater separation, of course, between continents to allow for this water, traversal, whatever that entails, right? Piracy or whatever naval combat related things players can come up with. Right. There was a little bit of reorientation of the continents, coastline adjustments that they made to include a lot more bays, which I presume is probably to give people somewhere to hide, or somewhere to really dock if they're working trade routes. I imagine this probably going to matter there.
Well, Steven mentioned that the docks will have like a zone of like an area that's kind of basically, and we'll talk more about this when we talk about caravans, but there's a radius around them that where you're safe. So you need a port to make that work.
Right, yeah, someplace to, I imagine you probably go there and then offload, and then you have to reload, and then go across the... Now, here's the fun thing, is that open sea PvP, the water is all PvP flagged. If you're on the water, you don't get like the ability to run around and land and not be flagged for PvP, even though if somebody hits you, now you're, well, I guess you have to choice, right? Do I fight? Do I not fight?
No princess cruises for Mox.
Princess cruises, yes. You are a safe
yeah, I'll be taking the airships, or if possible, the teleportation of the science nodes. I may partake in just to experience it. I did do some PvP in other MMOs, just wasn't frequent. It's like I've always said, it's not really my jam.
It's not your jam, and that's fine. Yeah, no kidding. Now, I've been wondering how you're going to feel about being out there on the water, forced to be flagged for PvP if you want to get from one continent to another. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if I go on the water, it will be expressly to PvP. Because I don't have to go on the water to travel. I can take an airship.
Yeah, only if there is a level 6 or high enough level science node, right? And
no, that's for teleporting. He said there will be airships between the continents. And then he said, in addition to that, if you have a science node that is leveled high enough to have teleport and its sphere of influence extends far enough, then you might be able to teleport over those. But he said there will be airships for people that don't want to fly. The caveat with that was, though, that you cannot take crafting materials. So it makes me wonder, how much materials can I not take? Like, if I have a piece of wood and I go to get on the airship, will they, will I be pulled aside
the
for
TSA is going to get you. Right. Oh, no. I can't carry my one wood.
Yeah, if I have a couple dozen craft things I just grabbed on the way to the airport, the airship, whatever they're going to call it, pylon or whatever, will I lose that stuff? I won't be able to do it. They'll say you have to get rid of that. What? And,
I think you're banking you're putting a lot of faith in airships.
Herein lies the question of, how inconvenient will it thus then be? Do I have to go to the bank before I ever get on and get rid of every crafting material? If I have a sword in there that that's been made, but is there some sort of binding mechanic and you could answer this, was there a binding mechanic in the pre-alpha that you did gear get bound to you?
Honestly, I don't feel like I picked up gear. I may have not. I mean, I picked up a lot of trash, and there was but I don't feel like there was a part where I think you're supposed to craft a sword. But I don't recall it being bound.
Because my question would be, let's say I have a sword. Let's say there is a binding mechanic, and I have a sword in my inventory that has been crafted but is not bound. Does that prevent me from getting on the airship? Because I'm transporting goods, technically.
Because you're trying to take a weapon on an aircraft? Right. Is that
well, no, because I'm transporting a crafted good, is my question. If I have crafted food in my inventory, so there has to be some sort of leniency. You can have 30, or you can have 20, or you can have 100, or whatever that is. There has to be a reasonable amount, because if I really can't. I mean, I guess I could see somebody trying to skirt the mechanics by taking micro amounts across the airship. and they're
That's
thereby
a lot of
skirting the
map
caravan.
time, right? A lot of traversal.
So they have to make it expensive enough to do that, and money sink wise. So all questions that need to be answered, and hopefully when you get to play Alpha, which is the next
2.
Alpha 2, is that what's next? Okay. So you get to play Alpha 2. Hopefully, with the expanded world and all these game systems starting to come online, you'll be able to answer these questions.
Right. And by the way, the sizes of map do not include the Underrealm. I know that is completely and utterly separate. And I like that Steven said that at choke points on the map, that's where you'll tend to see the Underrealm entrances, or at least among them, right? The possible entrances, so that you have the option of alternate routes to pass through the Underrealm. Now, don't take that lightly, because there's some risk associated with that as well, right? Going through the Underrealm is going through the Underrealm, right? So heads up there. I think we would like to, we've mentioned the Lazy Peon, we've mentioned Narc, so we want to make sure to put their links into the videos that we've necessarily been referring to for theirs. We'll make sure to link, and obviously the August 22 development update, so that all of that is available for your reference.
Yep. And keep an eye out for part 2 of this, where we discuss the nodes and caravans.
Yes, there sure is a lot more coming.
Yeah. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Disparate Worlds, on Twitter at Disparate Worlds, our website, disparateworlds.org, and we are also on Patreon at patreon.com/Disparate Worlds. In addition, on our website and in the description below is a link to our Discord. Please join us there.
Yes. We've actually had some decent conversation. I asked here at some point, hey, who is going to be in the Pantheon pre-alpha? Yeah. And had a few people speak up, and that was really good to see. I'd like to keep, comparing notes and such. See who we have there with us. So, okay, that will be it, hopefully, for this episode. Stay tuned. We've got another one coming on the rest of this. So thank you very much for watching. In the meanwhile, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your comments on this stuff, especially the things that we don't know, but make it substantial. Besides that, do the like, the subscribe, all this stuff, right? The notification bell, that way you are informed and you are not missing when we go live with our tribe. It's very important that you get exposed to that stuff. So take care of yourselves, guys. We very much appreciate you. Remember always to be immovable in your principles and irresistible in your